Hi there everyone, my name is Preetham and I welcome you all to Negitech. In this video, we will talk about how to choose the perfect laptop tailored just to meet your requirement. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so as I was mentioning about requirement, the first thing here we need to do is you need to identify what you will primarily use your laptop for. Is it for portability and productivity, or for gaming, or for content creation, or for running, let's say, any professional software? So identify your requirement first, and let's say you might want to run a particular software, then go and check what is the requirement of that software, especially the recommended one, not the minimum system requirement. They're gonna give you a very good head start of what exactly you need in your laptop. Alright, after you identified what is your exact requirement, let's talk about those requirements. Let's say you want your laptop for portability and want to run a very lightweight application. For example, Microsoft Office apps like Word, Excel and PowerPoint, and then you also do lot of internet browsing. Then in that scenario, we can look for the laptop with high energy efficient processor. For example, U series processor, both in case of AMD as well as Intel. And the good thing about these processors, they're going to consume a very less battery, thereby you're gonna get very good battery backup. And you may also consider Snapdragon based or ARM based processor if your use case is only limited to Word, Excel, PowerPoint and Windows browsing, because those processors can give you more than 20 hours of battery backup, making it very ideal for portability. And not to worry guys, we're gonna cover this aspect, which is processors in laptop, at later part of this video. Now let's talk about another requirement. For example, somebody want laptop for gaming and high performance. So for gaming and high performance, I would say focus on the laptop with powerful CPU and GPU. And when we talk about GPU, I'm talking about discrete GPU by NVIDIA or AMD, not the integrated one. Apart from heavy duty CPU and GPU, we also need to see how good the thermal management of that laptop is, because when we talk about these high-end CPU and GPU, they also going to emit a lot of heat. Then in that scenario, we required a cooling system which is robust and can handle the CPU and GPU heat. One more aspect the gamers need to have a look on is the refresh rate of your display. So make sure that you are getting the display of high refresh rate. For example, 120 Hz or 144 Hz. Now we may also see display going up to 240 Hz. So I would say if you are getting a gaming system, then consider your system display should have at least 120 Hz of refresh rate. Having high refresh rate will make your gaming experience very smooth and enjoyable. These kind of laptops are not only good for gaming, but for another purpose as well. For example, if you want to do some kind of rendering task, or you do 3D editing, or even you do content creation, then definitely you should choose a laptop with powerful CPU and GPU. Similarly, let's say you would like to go in domain of data scientist, then in that scenario probably you may need to work with AI and machine learning. In that scenario also, I would suggest you to go with a machine having a very decent CPU, especially the latest generations of high performance CPU, as they now comes with NPU, which is neural processing unit. And then make sure that you have got decent amount of RAM, which will take care of big data and other AI requirement. Okay, so after realizing what kind of laptop you need, let's talk something which is more specific to certain part of your laptop. So let's start with storage. So make sure that your laptop comes with SSD, and to be specific, NVMe SSD, not the SATA one. And then in NVMe SSD, currently PCIe 5 is the latest generation, but probably that would be very expensive. So make sure that your system should have NVMe SSD of generation 4. And NVMe SSD will make sure that your laptop has fast boot time and will able to quickly transfer your data and files. And this is the reason why this is very important to check this aspect as well. Now let's talk about the main component in your laptop, which is processor. So I would say don't be swayed by just the processor branding. Do not only look for i3, i5 and i7. Generation matter a lot. For example, 13th generation of i3 will be faster, probably even faster than i7 of 5th generation. The generation indicates how recent the processor technology is. Higher generation offer better performance and efficiency. And as we were discussing before, if you would like to go with portability, you can go with U series of processor. And if your use case scenario is gaming or doing high performance computing, then you need to look for H series of processor. If we talk about the latest generation offering from Intel, then you may see Ultra series of processor, especially the 14th generation Lunar Lake and Meteor Lake chips. In these generations or even previous generation like 12th generation, 13th generation, check the last letter in your CPU. That would be either H or U, or if we talk about the latest Intel Core Ultra, there you may see V series is also there. Then if we talk about AMD also comes with U series, which is again ultra low power, for example 5600U, 5800U. If we talk about H series, then you might have seen 5600H, 5900H. These are high performance and going to consume a lot of power. Then there is extreme high performance or HX series of AMD processor. Then there is AMD C series also, which is optimized for Chrome OS. For example, Ryzen 3 3250C, Ryzen 5 3500C. Then there is AMD Pro series or business class series. For example, Ryzen 7 Pro 5850U, Ryzen 5 Pro 5650U. These processors are mainly focused on security, manageability, and long-term reliability. Okay, so after CPU, let's talk about RAM. So in case of RAM also, size is the not only thing that we should look for. Check for your RAM generation and your RAM clock speed. Higher the clock speed means better the performance. Although I would say it is not that simple in case of RAM, because we also need to look for other factors such as latency. But in case of laptop, I would say the main thing that you need to check for is the RAM generation. So make sure that your RAM is preferably DDR5 or at least DDR4. This will make sure your laptop will perform as expected. Now let's talk about the GPU. For gamers and creative, GPU is very critical, guys. So make sure that you have a dedicated GPU, and you also need to check for the generation. So if I talk about NVIDIA, currently the latest generation is RTX 40 series. So make sure that you have got this latest series of GPU. And if I talk about the AMD, then Radeon RX 7000 series is the latest one. Now let's talk about display, and then you already know that we have covered the refresh rate aspect, especially for gamers. Let's talk about other aspect of display as well. For example, resolution. So I would suggest you to have a laptop with resolution of at least full HD, which is 1920 by 180 resolution. Higher the resolution will offer sharper visual, but at the same time will consume more power. So you need to make sure that you are choosing the right resolution display for yourself. And then you can also see the panel type of your display. For example, IPS panel provide more color accuracy and viewing angle. However, if you want to buy something for gaming, then you would like to go with TN panel or the display having a very low value for response rate. Connectivity and port is also a very important aspect that one need to have a look for, because if you do not see this aspect, then probably at later stage you may face problem. So make sure that your laptop comes with IO that is most important for you. Some of notable IO are USB Type C and USB Type A. Then you may also need to look at your laptop if he have got HDMI port or not. If we talk about wireless connectivity, then make sure that your laptop have got Bluetooth 5.0 or at least Wi-Fi 6 generation. So these are some of very important factor one should keep in mind while buying their machine. And if you take care of these aspects, then you're gonna get an excellent machine that's gonna cater your exact requirement. And if you find it challenging, then not to worry guys, you can check out in-store that contain curated list of handpicked laptop, desktop and other accessories. This will help you to find your perfect laptop based on your specific need. And you're actually going to buy it from your trusted platform, for example, Amazon. In this way, you're gonna get the best laptop that will cater your specific need and you will not feel yourself lost in this huge Amazon market. And in the end, I would say choosing the right laptop doesn't have to be overwhelming. Focus on these key aspects and you will find a machine that fit your need perfectly. If you find this guide helpful, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Negitech for more in-depth tech videos. Thanks for watching and I will see you soon in the next one. Till then, you take care and bye-bye.